Okay, what I'm going to do here is see if I can kind of explain the new artwork and animation. And this is just for test purposes. But the first thing you see is kind of you're standing by some kind of strange monument in front of some trees. So we're going to have to imagine what it looks like. But what you do is you would move the cursor and you would either click over here to either go left or right. So it's basically a fork in the road. Now, the cursor is just going to look like this normal kind of stationary cursor, not very special. But when you actually go over these areas that are kind of special, like it's some place that you'd want to click, it turns into this, and it just goes in a loop like this. It just kind of to indicate that you're on something that you might want to click. So that's what that is. And then if you were to go, let's say go to the left, hopefully I got this right, it'll look like that. So now what's this funny thing right here, this white thing? Well, we'll get to that. So let's say if we clicked over here, let's see here. Again, the cursor would rotate like this to indicate that you're over a special area. And if you were to click on the left over here, it would look like this. And you can't see that white thing, but anyway, the animation would loop. So while it's waiting for you to decide what you want to do, the animation would loop. So let's go back to the initial place. And I made kind of a goofy bird character. And if it animates, it does this. And it just goes over and over and over again. But let's say we clicked on the left, we clicked over here, and moved over to this spot. Then the bird, you can see it from a different vantage point. And same thing if you're over here on this point, kind of gives you a frame of reference, a point of reference, so you can tell where you're standing, and it'll just keep going. It will wait for you to make a decision what you want to do. So it'll do this until you decide. Now, while you're doing this, there is a chance that something might happen. This is daytime, so what I would do is I'd have nightfall at some point, and I might not be able to do this time because I didn't do the nightfall animation or the daybreak animation, but that's what it looks like at night. And then if you're to move to the left, go to the left, it'll look like that. So basically this game test has 3 different places where you can go to. You're basically walking around this kind of odd monument, and you can do it at daytime or night. And then that bird that's kind of hopping over the monument lets you know where you are, because the bird it's just doing the same thing regardless of where you're standing. And then every once in a while, you might get surprised by something like hunger. Suddenly you are hungry, and the game is going to let you know. And so this is going to repeat, and just maybe like 3 times or something, just to let you know that you are hungry. So that kind of gives you an idea. The only thing else I can think of is one thing I forgot to click on is the surprise animation, where suddenly, like out of the blue, it'll be just totally random. The zombie is coming after you. So this is how the zombie animation goes. It's like slowly approaching you. And it won't repeat like this, but it'll do it once, so you better get away. So you've got like a few seconds to make a decision. Now with the zombie attack, you've got two different cursors. There's one that looks like this, and then there's one that looks like this. And oops, that's a little bit too high. Now they'll be on either side. There'll be one over here on this side of the screen, and the other arrow will be over here, kind of indicating go that way or go that way. Again, this is just for testing, just to get the functionality, get the engine working. So the animation for the arrow looks like this, and again, it's just temporary. I'll do something really, really good later. I'm saving my animation skills for later. So yeah, so you've got those two arrows. So what you would do is you would either you'd probably hit the right arrow on your keyboard or the left arrow to go left. So it's just, you either have to press a key in either direction to avoid the zombie. Otherwise, it is going to get closer and closer like that. So, but it's not going to repeat like this. It's not going to wait for you. This is one of those moments where it's action, and you've got to make a decision really, really quickly. Well, reasonably quickly. It's not going to be totally crazy. But if you don't react, it's going to do this, and then it's going to go. It's going to do this. Num 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 num. So that's pretty much it. So I've done all the animation. I've got the frames of animation. These are just still images. If you look, it's just a bunch of still images that I have right here. They're just each of the pictures. They're not made into a movie yet. So the next step is to make the movies out of these individual frames. And once I've got the movies put together, then I can get back into the programming and make sure that I've got all of the random, pop up, just these random moments and these little things to appear on the screen at the right moment. And that's pretty much it for the programming, except the next step would be sound, adding the music and things like that. And then that's pretty much it for the programming portion. So yeah, it's moving along. So hope you like the video.